Trevs Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, so with the draft in the books, we're going to talk about the first 7 picks in Seattle Kraken history. They didn't add any extra other than for next year. But they did get seven picks nonetheless. And 2, I would love to see crack the lineup very soon. But either way, we're going to go over all 7 of them. So let's talk about it. It's a brief history lesson. If you remember, Seattle got the number 2 pick after moving up 1 spot in the draft lottery. That's how they were able to go and select who they selected. But in round 2, they had number 35. Round 3 was 67. Round 4 was 99. Round 5 was 131. Round 6 was 163. And the last round, round 7, was 195. Let's talk about him. Matty Beniers. I think this is your superstar. I think this is the guy you're building the team around. And at a point-a-game average, 10 goals, 14 assists, and 24 points in 24 games with the University of Michigan, it's not hard to understand why. He did play for the national team in the 17 and 18s, where he scored 23 and 20 points respectively. Like I said, his playmaking abilities, his hands, he can skate. He's a very powerful skater. It's got franchise written all over it. And I really do hope he makes the lineup coming out of training camp. Be good to see him even on second line. I mean, granted, he's not going to be first line immediately. That might work its way up in no time, but it's good to see them draft that Paul Kariya type player, that guy you can build that franchise, that brand around, and hopefully pays dividends for years to come. Second pick in team history, 35th overall, Riker Evans, out of Regina of the WHL. It's good to get that defensive pick out of the way. The earlier the better, because defensemen do take time to develop. And as much as I'd love to see Evans on the starting lineup on day 1, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he needs some development. But it's not for lack of effort. 70 points in 3 seasons in Regina. The question mark I have, or at least the red flag I have, is his plus minus. Minus 37 in a combined 3 seasons. So, how good is he at stopping the puck? Really? How good is he at keeping out of the zone? Maybe that's something he can work on. Either way, definitely good to get the defenseman out of the way. Ryan Winterton at 67th overall. This one could be a bit of a gamble. I mean, he didn't play anything in Hamilton for the 2021 season. But he did play for the under-18 team at the World Juniors under-18 for Team Canada, where he scored 4 points. In 1920, though, he managed to score 23 points in 53 games for the Bulldogs. And maybe this one's a diamond in the rough. Maybe this is something, a work in progress, something you can send to the farm, let develop, bring him back up, see what kind of skills he's got from that point. Either way, not a bad pick here. So pick 99. The boys went defense again, this time drafting Finnish defenseman Ville Otrovainen. And this, again, could be another one that takes some time to develop. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, 20 points combined last season in 39 games. So the production's there. Again, though, the plus minus a minus 15 for last season. It's always a worrisome thing. You don't want to see your defenseman in the minus. But again, maybe it's something that can be worked on. Number 163. Tell me if you've heard this one before. A goalie named SEMYON. I'm listening. VYAŽOVOI. SEMYON VYAŽOVOI. No, we don't share birthdays. It's good to see them building to the future. And again, this is probably another one of those ones. It's going to take some time to develop, but it can't be a completely bad thing. Of a .965 save percentage in 6 games, playing in the under 18s, a .2.06 goals against, and a .939 playing for Toppler UFA in the MHL last season. With a 14-9-1 record, 3 shutouts, I think we're okay. Like again, goalies take time to develop, so if it takes the time, it takes the time, no matter how you look at it. I completely forgot pick number 131, Jacob Melanson, right winger out of ACADIE-BATHURST with the QMJHL. Not bad statistics, really. I mean, when you look at it, 29 points in 56 games over the last 2 seasons between ACADIE-BATHURST and the Quebec Ramparts. So definitely somebody who could fill out your bottom 6 long term, or somebody you could just keep in the farm. Keep in mind, 45 penalty minutes in the last 2 seasons in between 56 games. So a grinder, sure. Maybe a power forward. You hope for the best, right? We'll see. Number 195. Left wing, Justin Janik. Now he comes out of the U.S. developmental system. We didn't put up bad numbers. 2021, put up 29 points in 44 games. So definitely somebody you could throw on a third line if you give him more time to develop. He is going to Notre Dame, so he might take a year or 2 to himself to do his thing there. And you can't fault him for that. But that was your first 7 picks in Seattle Kraken history. Now, I'm not at all upset with this draft class, especially for the first 2, for Beniers and for Evans. Now, I really hope Evans can improve on his defensive game, though. Otherwise, not bad picks at all. Definitely picks we'd be happy with. Again, as I said in the beginning, 1 for sure, 2 I'd love to see crack the lineup on starting day. So we'll just see what kind of camp they have. So that's another one of Trev's Hockey Shows. I want to thank you for tuning in, especially if you're here. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture. But since you are here, and since we have this nice you're listening and I'm talking relationship, hit that like button. That would help me out immensely. While you're at it, hit subscribe. You know you want to. And subscribe makes you feel good. And we're so close to 100. I'd love to see this happen. So let's make it happen. All my socials there in the description down below. Moving forward, well, the next current event you're going to see me at is free agency. And probably be the night of free agency. Just because for me to do it during the day doesn't work because I work that day. Normally free agency day is July 1st, not July 28th. But given the last couple seasons we've had, you do with what you do with, right? But either way, in the meantime, in between time, you're looking for more videos from Trev. Later.